Hi everyone, in this video we are going to show you how to take any close style turntable and turn it into an animated GIF with a transparent background using the addition of Adobe Media Encoder that can be used for any type of digital presentation. To start, you just need to select any style that you've already made in CLO. In this, I just have the simple lingerie set, and using my 3D toggle, I have hidden my avatar since I really just want the garment to show. I've also checked to make sure my garment is in high res already, which you would want to do before creating your turntable video. Now that I know that everything is in high res, I can simply go up to the top of my monitor here, turn on render, and see that I actually already have my render ready to go. Of course, if you do see that gray screen, you just simply click to activate your interactive render right here. Now that I have my interactive render ready to go, I can go through my different settings in CLO to set up exactly what I want to create. To start, I always do like to start by checking my render properties to make sure for myself I'm on a PC, so I have it set to GPU CUDA with CPU supporting. You can choose your different noise thresholds. I have mine at 0.005, keeping it relatively low for a high quality image with minimal kind of that fuzz or static. From there, I can also check on my maximum render time, global mapping, quality. I could increase maybe my quality of my light to high and my material textures to very high. Again, up to you and up to the type of computer that you may have. From there, I'm going to go into my lighting. I've chosen one of CLO's presets, Gallery House, but of course there are lots of different preset lightings you can use, or you can use your own lights as well that you have custom built, or an HDRI that you've downloaded from another program. I'm going to stick with that Gallery House lighting for now. From there, we can always double check our camera properties. Of course, I'm going to keep my camera properties pretty much as is. Again, the CLO default is really nice. It's going to give me just a crisp, nice, sharp, focused image. And finally, and really most important when we're doing turntables, is going into our image and video properties. Once I come down to our property editor, image and video, I want to make sure I'm set to a turntable image. Under colorway, I'm going to set mine just to this current teal color that I currently see. Of course, could do all, which would do every single colorway you've created, or a custom assortment of your colors. Just remember that the more colorways you pick, the longer the video or recording is going to take. From there, I can set up my image count. For this, it's a quick, simple video, so I'm just going to stick with 64 frames. Just remember that the more frames you add, the smoother the image or turntable will be later on. Under here, rotation of axis, I have it set to the auto, which is just going to simply go straight up and down. We can actually see on our 3D window this gray dotted line coming all the way down the center of our screen, which is showing that axis of rotation. From there, we can choose our direction, clockwise or counterclockwise. I'll just stick with clockwise. Important thing, since we want to create a turntable now and we do not want a background, we are going to check save video off. We are not going to automatically save that video. We're going to use Media Encoder later on to do that for us. Next here, under our image size, this is where you can select from presets or set your own. I have mine set to portrait and my pixels are 600 by 1080. I can quickly see by seeing those corner images where this image is cropped, and I can then, of course, zoom in or out to focus in on the garment at hand. Resolution, I have it set to 300 ppi, pixels per inch. And for our background, I'm not worried about the color because I don't want a color or textured background. Instead, I'm just going to click on transparency. Now, if for any reason you still have saved video, you'll notice that if I turn this back on, that transparent option is grayed out and I cannot use it. So I'm gonna go ahead and click that back off. My transparency returns, looks good. And finally down here, just checking my file path and image format will need to be PNG for transparency. Now that I have all of that set, I can click my stop interactive render and then go ahead and hit play. Now I have already rendered out my 64 images. Just to let everyone know, that took my computer a little over 20 minutes to do, and that speed is going to depend on your computer and its processing power and graphics card. Once you have your image done, you'll get that nice pop-up that shows your images. So here I can see I have images set from 0 all the way down to image 63. Since the images don't start at 1, they do start at 0. It's why it only goes to 63 images here. And And with that image, I can also see that they are already in sequential order, going 0, 1, 2, 3. So that's perfect and makes it easy for when I open up Media Encoder. Opening up Media Encoder right here, this comes from Adobe. It's a very, very simple program that's kind of really just meant to stitch images together to create an animation. I'm going to click on this plus button to add our images. One important thing I've noticed when working with Media Encoders, I do not want to drag and drop my images in here. I always want to click on this plus button for add source. Luckily, I have my images already set right here, and all I want to do is add that image 0. I don't want to click all of these images, just 0. That's the nice thing with that sequential order. If they're all in one folder, Media Encoder knows to grab everything with that same name in the number order. Double click to add. With that added, I can double check under here, under my settings. We have several different options. I'm going to go with animated GIF or GIF, up to however you choose to pronounce that. And next here under animated GIF with transparency, because again, we don't want that background. One other last little thing that you can do, if you go and right click on your image's name here, you can actually go to interpret footage. And with interpret footage, you can actually set the length of how long that turntable is going to last. By default, it sets the frame rate and the duration is little over 2 seconds long. I'm going to actually switch that to assume this frame rate, and that way I can actually set this to anything I want. I'm going to go ahead and set this to 14, and that's just going to slow down my turntable from being only 2 seconds to 4 seconds. Hitting OK. And there's really only one last step we need to do. Just hitting this green play button, and we can see right below Media Encoder is stitching all of those images together. And now when I go ahead and I open up that turntable video, we can see that lingerie GIF right here. I actually have 2 of them now, but double click to open. And if I bring this right here, we can see our turntable image, which will have no background. My default is just set to that dark mode, but I could put this onto any type of presentation, PowerPoint, up on a screen, and I would see whatever background is in that presentation and not detract from the garment that I'm trying to show off. I hope that you guys all enjoyed this video. Let us know if you have any questions, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much.